Have you ever woken up feeling like you're just going through the motions? Like no matter how hard you try, life feels a little stuck? Maybe you're not unhappy, but you're not exactly thriving either. You know there's more out there, more joy, more fulfillment, more energy, but you're not sure how to get there. Well, here's the good news. A better life isn't about some huge, dramatic transformation. It's about small, intentional choices that add up over time. And today, I want to share with you the top 5 things you can start doing right now to create a life that feels richer, more meaningful, and just plain better. Now, I'm not talking about quick fixes or empty self-help cliches. These are real, practical habits that have made a difference for me and for so many people I've talked to. And the best part, you don't need to overhaul your entire routine overnight. Just pick 1 or 2 of these to focus on, and you'll start noticing a shift. So let's dive in.
1. Prioritize your mindset, because everything starts there. Think about the last time you faced a challenge. Maybe it was a tough day at work, a disagreement with a loved one, or just one of those mornings where everything seemed to go wrong. How did you react? Did you feel defeated, or did you look for a way forward? Here's the thing, your mindset shapes your reality. If you constantly tell yourself, nothing ever goes right, guess what? You'll start noticing all the things that confirm that belief. But if you train yourself to ask, what can I learn from this, or how can I make this better, suddenly, obstacles start feeling like opportunities. So how do you shift your mindset? Start small. Every morning, take just 30 seconds to set an intention. It could be as simple as, today, I'll look for one good thing in every situation. Or, I'll approach problems with curiosity instead of frustration. Over time, this tiny habit rewires your brain to focus on growth instead of limitations. And when negative thoughts creep in, because they will, don't beat yourself up. Just notice them and gently redirect. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or holding me back? You'd be amazed how much power you have over your own perspective. 2. Move your body, not just for fitness, but for joy. I know. You've heard this a million times, exercise is good for you. But here's what most people don't talk about, movement isn't just about burning calories or fitting into your jeans. It's about feeling alive. Think back to when you were a kid. You probably ran, jumped, danced, or played sports without even thinking about it. Movement was fun. Somewhere along the way, we turned it into a chore, something we have to do. But what if you reclaimed the joy in it? You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights, unless you want to. Find something that makes you feel good. Maybe it's dancing in your living room to your favorite song, taking a leisurely walk in nature, or even stretching while you watch TV. The key is to focus on how it makes you feel, energized, strong, free, rather than just checking it off a to-do list. And here's a little secret, when you move your body regularly, everything else gets easier. Your mood improves, your brain works better, and you just feel more capable of handling whatever life throws at you. So, ask yourself, what's one way you can move today that actually sounds fun? Now, before we move on to the next point, I want you to take a quick mental note. Which of these 2 habits, mindset or movement, resonates with you more right now? Maybe it's both. Whatever it is, just tuck that thought away, because we're about to explore even more ways to build a life you love. So, we've talked about how shifting your mindset can change your entire outlook on life, and how moving your body, just for the sheer joy of it, can boost your energy and mood in ways you might not expect. But here's the thing, life isn't just about how you think or how you move. It's also about how you connect, with others, with yourself, and even with the world around you. That's why the next 2 habits we're diving into are all about creating deeper, more meaningful connections. Because let's be honest, no matter how much personal growth you focus on, life feels richer when it's shared. 3. Cultivate real connections, quality over quantity. How many people do you interact with in a day? Between work, social media, and everyday errands, you might exchange words with dozens of people. But how many of those conversations leave you feeling truly seen and understood? We live in a world that's more connected than ever, yet so many of us feel lonelier than ever. And here's the hard truth. Having 500 online friends isn't the same as having one or two people you can call at 2 a.m. when life gets messy. So, how do you build those kinds of connections? Start small. Reach out to someone you care about, not just with a quick text, but with a real conversation. Ask them how they're really doing, and then listen, not just to respond, but to understand. Put your phone away. Be present. And here's the other side of it. Don't be afraid to let go of relationships that drain you. You know the ones, the people who leave you feeling exhausted, judged, or just less than. Life's too short to spend it with people who don't celebrate the real you. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, challenge you in good ways, and make you laugh until your stomach hurts. 4. Make time for what lights you up, not just what pays the bills. When was the last time you lost track of time doing something you loved? Not because you had to, but because it made you feel alive? Maybe it's painting, gardening, playing an instrument, or even just getting lost in a great book. Somewhere along the way, many of us convinced ourselves that hobbies are frivolous, something we'll get to when we have more time. But here's the reality, you'll never have more time unless you make more time. And those little moments of joy? They're not just nice to have, they're essential. Think about it, when you're doing something you love, you're not just passing time. You're recharging. You're reminding yourself that life isn't just about responsibilities and to-do lists. It's about curiosity, play, and the things that make your soul hum. So, what's one thing you've been putting off because it feels unproductive? Maybe it's signing up for that dance class, dusting off your old guitar, or finally starting the creative project you've been dreaming about. Whatever it is, give yourself permission to do it, not because it's useful, but because it makes you happy. And here's the beautiful part, when you prioritize what lights you up, you bring that energy into every other part of your life. You become more patient, more inspired, and honestly, more fun to be around. Now, before we move on to the final piece of the puzzle, I want you to take a quick pause. Think about the connections in your life. Are there any you'd like to deepen? And what's one thing you could do this week, just for the pure joy of it? Because in the next part, we're going to talk about the one habit that ties everything together, the secret to making all of this stick. We've covered so much ground already, shifting your mindset, moving with joy, nurturing real connections, and making time for what lights you up. These are all powerful pieces of the puzzle, but there's one final habit that ties everything together. It's the secret to making these changes last, to turning fleeting motivation into lasting transformation. 5. Practice consistent self-reflection, the game changer. Here's something I've learned the hard way. You can have all the right habits, the best intentions, and even a solid plan, but if you're not checking in with yourself regularly, it's easy to drift right back into old patterns. Think of it like this. Imagine you're driving to a new destination. You wouldn't just set your GPS once and then never look at it again, right? You'd check in occasionally to make sure you're still on track, maybe adjust your route if there's traffic. Your life works the same way. Self-reflection doesn't have to be some big, formal thing. It can be as simple as asking yourself 2 questions at the end of each day. What's one thing that went well today? Celebrate it. What's one small adjustment I can make tomorrow? No judgment, just curiosity. This isn't about beating yourself up for what you didn't do, it's about gently guiding yourself forward. Maybe you notice you've been skipping your joyful movement. Instead of thinking, ugh, I failed, you could ask, what got in the way? How can I make this easier tomorrow? And here's the magic, when you make this a regular practice, you start to see patterns. You might realize that you're happiest on days when you connect with a friend, or that your energy dips when you skip your morning intention. These little insights become your roadmap to a life that feels truly yours.